Good afternoon. Scott Redler, T3 Live. Welcome to today's recap. So, pretty boring day, to say the least, and maybe even a little frustrating depending on where you stand. Futures were basically flat, market pushed up, early on, and then pretty much held in all day. And then things did feel a little lethargic up there. I wasn't expecting, a breakout to the upside in the indices, or at least in the spiders. I was thinking maybe a day or two to digest what took place last week. But I also wasn't thinking that, we'd fall the way we did into the close, which, I guess could be a small little cautionary flag, but I don't think we should read too much into it. Most things held in there, and, if you bought strength today, you probably ruined some good prices, and I know I gave back well over, half my day today. You look at the chart, let's just go to the SPX. If you think about where it came from, okay, this is where it came from, and then it's been stutter stepping higher. This was the bottom pivot, traded above this, held in there, traded above this, held in there, and then today was the first time after a big green day it didn't, give back even more than that. So some are saying, isn't today a red dog reversal? I guess we did push through 21.13, making a high of 21.14. I think more of just sort of stalling here. After you look at the size of the move that we saw and it being still a week, almost 2 weeks until the end of the quarter, here's where the 8 and the 21 day are, so it kind of extended. In my head, I'm kind of thinking that maybe we could retest the 2100 area before heading higher. Or if you look at the spiders, maybe, we retest this area. Hold on, let me get to it. Right around here, okay, which a close below 209 I think would be definitely a little frustrating, for those looking for momentum. Here we did it. We just pretty much stalled near the prior highs. Maybe tomorrow we open a little bit lower and let me get over here. Open a bit lower and then close up and continue this upper area. But if we were to close, with a pretty potent down, move tomorrow, they probably would shake the tree and people would reduce. But at this point, I just think that from where we were at the bottom of Fed day to the inside range in front of highs, there's still not a lot of clarity out there as far as rates, as far as earnings season, as far as every Fed guy speaking out of both sides of his mouth. Even today, the dollar broke below the 21 day, and you would think the market would have went up with the dollar down, but I guess that correlation doesn't exist. All I know is the only correlation that exists is every time you see on a network them talk about something every 5 minutes for a few days, you're close to some kind of change. And basically, everyone spoke about the dollar, every expectation was raised, and then you had this down day, and then a trap, and now look where you are. So, with that being said, I don't think the dollar's going to crash, but at this point, maybe down open tomorrow in the UUP, it could be a buying opportunity. But up here, we talked about not chasing something that has been, relatively very parabolic. So into this could be a little bit of of an opportunity. The FXC, first big bounce. So goes to show you, you try not to. Look for the juice on the bottom. Once everyone said it has to go to parity, you get a bounce. And so if you shorted down here, you're probably covering into this. If you're waiting to wait for the oscillator on this to get from drastically oversold to a bit more neutral, maybe you reshort versus that. So we'll see what happens in the next day or so. In that area. One clue that they were going to pull the rug a little bit, I don't know, somewhere around 2:30ish, or maybe even a little after that, I saw, oil got another push, and for the first time, like the XLE went lower. So the XLE has been kind of spunky and hanging around while, oil got hit, and this time oil had a big or a little bit of a push, and the XLE just, yawned. So that told me that we might have some more selling. So what I did is, I was long the spiders plus 4 or 5 positions, and once we broke below, I think it was 210. Let's go back to a 210.50. I just got out of my spiders, and which I probably should have done is I probably should have flipped just to have a little bit of a hedge on, but I wasn't going to hedge on the close. You go to the 5-minute chart, you could see how fast it kind of took place. Let's see if it comes on. Come on. Whereas, this is kind of ugly, where you have this chart and it's hovering in there. This was broken, pretty much right here. and I was watching, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I don't want to hold my nose and go underwater with the spiders and my position, so I got out of my spiders right around here. So just in case we do try and retest some of the support from the past few days, which comes in a little bit closer to here, I could perhaps rebuy. And if you put on a spider hedge right here, you probably moved a lot faster than I did, and you saved yourself some of the pull-in in some of your stocks. So as far as the stocks, okay, Facebook, very strong still. For me now, it's going to be the type of move where I don't participate. I was in Facebook here, okay, which was the buyable pullback. Let me right in here, and then I added here, and then I added here, and then I sold on this day. Okay, so that's how I played it. I was hoping, trying to be cute, to get a little bit of a pullback towards 83 to buy, and it got close, and then it rallied while I was actually at the gym, and I missed it. So all in all, holding higher. Let's see if this flag stays in, and with a few more sessions, maybe you could even buy it above the high here. For me now, I just want to wait a little bit. Where I got a little hurt, so to speak. I wouldn't say hurt, but kind of was frustrating. I came in with the Twitter options. I bought the stock real well today when it went positive, when it traded above this 48 and a quarter, and then right when it was hovering around 49, I was like, you know what? It seems as if we're holding in there, and it looks like a little bit of a matter of time before 50, maybe sooner than later. So I added above 49, and then just didn't hold for now. So I got back to it's just something I'm comfortable with, and then next time it gets above there, and if it closes above there, you know what? I'll get into a bigger tier for a potential breakout. God knows how many times Facebook tried and kind of failed. So if I was in just say a huge tier here and I didn't get out of some there, I wouldn't have been able to hold through. Or if I got into a huge tier here and I didn't get out there, I would have been in trouble there. So this time, I got in well, and it happened. So I'm not saying Twitter's going to fall apart now, but you have to be comfortable with what you hold. And for me, I'm in a comfortable size, and we'll see if it. Now I would like it to hold above this, which is just say 47 to 47.60, or even hold above today's low. But we'll see. We'll see if we build a right side here and then go. All in all, still looks fine. Just wasn't ready, and he came in with the market. And if you look at your 5-minute chart on Twitter, it looked good. It was hovering, right? So if you thought you were going to miss the breakout, you had to be in some kind of bigger tier anyway. So once it broke, like if you draw the trend from here, actually you can't really do it from there because it broke it here. This wide range bar broke it and then came up a little higher, so it actually faked people out that it was fine. You would have thought it would have stayed down there, which would have been better. So when it broke right here, let's see, there, I guess that could have been some people's stops on your second tier or your third tier, and then it wound up coming all the way in and closing there. So for me, this was your upper area, saying, okay, if you want to be in for momentum tier, as long as it holds here, once it broke here, you got to get back into your just swing tier. So if that makes sense to you, I am in a swing tier, hoping that with some time it gets momentum to go. So a momentum tier means you're closing near the high end of the range and you're looking for a nice trade to break through. And right now, it still looks like it's in the camp for that. And it could still happen this week, but it didn't happen today, and we'll see how it acts tomorrow. Apple gave a little bit of a bounce, getting tight. We'll see what happens next. It would be nice to see it break to the upside versus the downside. I guess you could almost draw a little bit of a wedge forming here. So we'll see which way it breaks from this wedge. Probably give us some clues on whether or not the market and NASDAQ could have power to go. So I am in some Apple, and we'll see if it could break above this. This would be your next buy area for momentum. We'll see what happens if it stays in here, or if it goes to the downside. Here's your stop. So it's right now a tight stop, 125.16. If you're long, that's what I'm going to use, or something like that, and your add is above there. So we'll see what happens with Apple, and that'll probably give us some clues with the overall tape too. BIDU is pretty strong today. We talked about it acting better since igniting here. Okay, and then it held in there, and now it seems like perhaps it wants to continue and close strong. So we'll see if we can get above into the moving averages. What Tesla do today? Didn't even look at it once really. Not much. Didn't fall apart, but still Not much going on here. Still trapped, but at some point maybe it changes. This is your floor. This is the downtrend. I don't know what it would take, what kind of news or whatnot, but big volume above maybe 203 now. It opens it up, but until then, don't do too much there. I did not trade BIDU once today, and you know, what's it doing in here? Not a heck of a lot. I think looks like just, I guess you could, let's see what's going on here, if there's any kind of anything. Yeah, well, this was when it broke above this little downtrend, and it's trying to hold in there. So I guess see how it acts tomorrow or so. You have a pivot now, 84.21. You know, it was weak on a strong day Friday, so it's just out of play. GPRO is a pleasant surprise for me, considering I haven't traded this stock in a while. It's been, you know, battered and bruised. This kind of looks like BIDU when, you know, you have something strong and it's above the 8-21 day. Remember this channel breakout? That was awesome. Went all the way to this red dog reversal up there. Then it broke the 8-day here, and then it pretty much broke its trend earlier, but you could say right here, and it's been in a downtrend ever since. And today it, you know, had its first day that it, you know, kind of poked above this, but every time you had a day, crushed. Day, crushed. So we'll see. You know, I did take some home long, and if it gets crushed tomorrow, it is what it is. I made some decent money when it triggered above this 40, 50, and 41. So we'll see what happens here if it has a second day in it, which it hasn't had in a while. What else went on today? Metals followed through a little bit to the upside. So those who were trying to press into major support here that didn't cover on this engulfing bar are still probably a little bit worried what to do, and now it filled the gap here. So, and the moving averages are a lot higher, so there is room if it wants to continue to grind, so we'll see. TLTs, hanging in there. Okay, remember that island reversal that we put on Twitter? Right here, when it broke below, came back above, held the gap, made an island of these two candles, and then broke above this 128, and now it's actually hanging in there. I don't know what that really means for the market-wise, or people not believing that rates are going to go up at all, but it seems as if it could do one more push at least, perhaps to fill this gap, but it's like a very non-compelling spot. It's a hard spot to buy. Hopefully you bought here or bought here. So buying here, you know, but again, doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be a short. So it's back above the moving averages. You know, at least it was tradable. Remember, it broke the 8-day right there, then gave you a corrective phase and reclaimed it right here, and now see if that continues. And that's about it. We'll see what happens. You know, pretty, you know, some action today, but you really had to take your trade. Not a lot of momentum. Oh, the bios. Bios gave some guys, you know, a little follow through to the downside. It goes to show you same 5-minute rule. I think they talked about the bios every 5 minutes, you know, in all the networks on Friday, and it was a sell the open into the news, and now it just hit the 8-day. So if you shorted on this wide range bar, maybe you covered some. Now we'll see if the 8-day, which has been the trend since early February, continues, or do they want to shake things up and pull things a little bit back to the prior high on the 21-day. So, you know, if you shorted into this, congratulations. If you held some, you know what, you deserve to get paid today, and you did. And now we'll see what's next in the bios. Again, remember, you just cannot chase things that are so extended from their 8 and 21-day. Whenever you hear it on the network, every 5 minutes, you know, for a day or two, you know you're getting close to some kind of momentum switch, because that means the herd is just hurtling on in. And see you tomorrow at the morning call. Have a good night.